and thank you for joining us on the S1 Helmets track here at the Roller Derby World Cup in Manchester. You are listening to Stormageddon, and we are about to see the first game on this track, which will be Team Argentina taking on Team Australia. You're just watching Team Australia do a quick warm-up, and then we should be kicking off momentarily. So while we're doing that, I'll just quickly go through our rosters for today. So for Team Argentina, we got 03 Temis, 138 Alba, 1953 Mad Flacker, 1980 Hulka, 26 Tropical Macana, 265 Lulazan, 27 Paoli, 35 Curia, 45 Maki Lombera, 609 Kimola, 7 Rayo, 8 Papa, who is their captain for today, number 88 Sismail, 95 Manager, and 99 Chiniski. And for Team Australia is 010 Giles, number 11 Sarah Chambers, 111 Wheels McCoy, 14 Christy Demons. Their captain for today at number 20 is Laura Evans. 2806 is Danny Darko, 45 is Bern, 358 is Jana Nuki, 38 is Bone Shaker, 444 is Scarlet Love, 66 Lauren Foot, 7 is Gomez, 85 is Bianca Scaretta, and 88 is Tui Leon. So we've still got a few minutes left to go, just seeing a few officials having a chat at the front there. We've already got our flags up in the audience. Everyone's chilling, everyone's got their cup of tea on. We're all sorted. Just before we start, I'll do a quick shout out to the official mouth guard of the 2018 Roller Derby World Cup, which is Sisu mouth guards. They keep your gnashers safe, keep them all together and in. And they're also super thin, so you can still have a drink. You can still actually talk to each other with a mouth guard in. I think that's a luxury that most of us have been without a few times with other mouth guards. Also so it looks like we're about lining up on track. So first jam, we've got Giles for Australia up against, I will tell you in a second. Oh no, I'm getting mixed up. It's still a warm-up, but they're acting like a proper scrim. That's how profesh they are. I just saw people on track and I panicked. It's still early. I got really confused why there wasn't a 14 in Team Argentina for a second. Desperately trying to find a number that isn't there. So you can just see on the screen, Argentina in blue there on the bench just waiting to get started. Also, a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Blood and Thunder, whose belief is life's better on roller skates, which I'm inclined to agree with. Give them a visit at bloodandthundermag.com for roller derby inspired apparel. And if you're into your roller derby inspired apparel, which I know I am, you can get a different shirt from a different roller derby league from around the world every month. So it's like getting a little present in the post every month. It's exciting. You join the Roller Derby Shirt Club at rollerderbyshirtclub.com. I'm just being joined now by our second announcer, who is C3PO.
Good morning /afternoon/evening world.
Good morning. Well, you've not missed any of the action yet. All you've missed is a bit of a warm-up.
Perfect. Transportation in a foreign city. It's a little difficult for me.
It's not reliable in England at the best of times, so
I've discovered that.
we've learned a hard lesson this morning, but all is well. We've not missed any of the action. And just do another quick shout out to one of our sponsors, the Girls on Track Foundation, which is an amazing charity that basically aim to help girls who are dropping out of sports at twice the rate of boys by the age 14. They think that roller derby can help to change that statistic. So if you want to learn more about that, they are at girlsontrackfoundation.org. Well, warm-up's finished, so it shouldn't be too much longer until we get stuck into the action. A quick shout out to Rydell Skates, who are a proud sponsor of the 2018 Roller Derby World Cup. You can make your skates your own with some custom coloured, handcrafted Colour Lab boots by Rydell Skates, so you can get them in all funky colours, whatever you fancy. I was having a look at them earlier, they're Solarises, and they are beautiful.
Did you try them on yet?
I feel like if I do, I may fall in love and my bank balance will hate me, but I really want some.
I feel that pain for sure.
Ooh, there's a whistle to mean stuff's gonna happen.
Argentina taking the track now, as is Australia.
So we've got Australia in yellow, Argentina in blue.
Both teams quite dominant yesterday against their opponents.
Oh, absolutely. So it should be a decent face-off between the two. On the first jam line, we've got number 26, Tropical Makana, taking on number 14, Christy Demons. And they're off. Some beautiful one-on-one blocking there by number 8, who is Papap, the team captain for Argentina.
Knocking Christy Demons out, forcing a recycle.
Both jammers really struggling to get through. Argentina have kind of jumped on the offense.
Argentina's wall up at the front there is giving Christy Demons some difficulty, and again recycling.
Oh, and a big hit out from number 88 of Australia, who is Tui Leon.
And again, recycled back. Neither jammer's gotten past the pivot line really yet. Pack is quite difficult to get through.
And that is Australia taking the first lead of this game, and a star pass in Argentina over to number 45, who is Maki Lombera.
Christy Demons picking up 2 there.
Maki Lombera not managing to score any points of her own, but managing to force quite a quick call off. So stopping Australia from scoring too many points at the early start of the game. Just seeing a replay of some of the really strong recycling there from the blockers. Going to the next jam, we've got Rayo taking on Sarah Chambers.
Sarah Chambers was very dominant yesterday as a jammer.
Yeah. And looking to be dominant again today, taking lead for Australia.
Much quicker out of the pack than Jam 1 there.
Absolutely. The star is off for Argentina, but her pivot's nowhere near her at the moment. So right now it's kind of giving her game away a bit of where the star's going.
A cut track on Sarah Chambers there. That's going to leave Argentina with a power jam. And we have had a successful star pass.
and that is 0-3 who's taken the start, Temis. So of course this does mean there's no lead jammer now, so we're running to the full 2 minutes on this jam.
And we have our first lead change with that 5-point lap there by Temis. 5-2 now for Argentina.
Temis coming up for a second scoring pass, so Argentina running on the offensive there to try and clear that space. They're just seeming to speed the pack up at the moment, so they've stopped to allow Temis to just push.
Waiting for Sarah Chambers to approach at the back of the pack now. She's out of the box.
She tried to hop around the inside line, but just lost her foot in there, so she's having to go back, try again. We've got 1980 Hawker on the offensive at the front of the pack, but Sarah Chambers is now out for a 5-point pass. Temis really drudging in and pushing at the back of that pack. You can see with these long jams that the tiredness is starting to kick in when there's that fight constantly going on.
Sarah Chambers grabbed at the front there by that number 7, Rayo. And another lead change in that jam.
So I've noticed that the scores aren't on the screen at the moment, so we'll just have to keep you updated. So at the moment, Team Argentina are on 10 and Team Australia are on 12. So both jammers getting 10 points each in that jam, which despite the power jam is pretty good work by Australia, I'd say. So we've got number 32 Stanton for Australia taking on 265 Lula Zan. Stanton really pushing through at the front, taking lead for Australia. The star is off for Argentina once again.
Lulu Zan stuck behind a strong Australia wall at the back of the pack.
I think she was kind of waiting for the jammer to get through and hoping to slow her down, but unfortunately Stanton just completely ignoring her, blitzing on through. Stanton on for a second scoring pass now. Makes it very quick work. Quite an easy job with a lot of Argentina in the penalty box.
Argentina still trying to free their jammer out of the pack here.
Papap trying to jump in for the offence there and breaking up the brace wall, but Australia so quick to reform, we barely even noticed her go through.
That's Lore Evans and Jana Nuku in the back there for Australia.
You can see Argentina up in front and just hit out Stanton, so recycling her back.
Stanton has had 2 full scoring passes so far in this jam, so 10 points on the board for Australia so far in this jam. Argentina still yet to get out of the pack.
But they have had a star pass over to Maki Lombera, who's up in the front at the moment. And you can just see on the screen there, Australia still fighting at the back for another scoring pass. Argentina have just got out for their initial.
And Stanton calling it off quickly before Argentina can steal any points. And that's another 5 up there for Australia. So they've opened the gap up 27-10 in favor of Team Australia.
So we've got Manaji on the jam line. And she is taking on Byrne from Australia. Bit of a pile up at the back of the pack there, but Byrne straight back up. Byrne trying to get around the outside line there. So quite an empty infield for Australia. Manaji really struggling to get through, just trying to push the gaps, but Australia very much staying strong in that wall.
Penalty box full for Argentina with blockers.
That allows Australia to take lead. Byrne coming around for a scoring pass now with some blockers to face up against.
Argentina still looking for the star pass.
The manager having to retrieve the star there because I believe that the star pass wasn't legal, so Pivot is just passing it back to her, trying to avoid the power jam. Burn up in front, just managing to weave her way round. I think there's a bit of confusion with the refs there. Manager just indicating to the refs that she still has got the star.
Still the inactive jammer for Argentina with it in her hand. And is recycled again by Team Australia. Burn, meanwhile, also recycled.
Manager having a really hard time here. We're 1 minute 30 into this jam and Argentina still yet to get their initial.
And as you say that, she gets out of the pack.
That's the announcer's curse.
And some confusion there for the Team Argentina jammer. Was called out of play with the star in her hand by one referee. And another called her on.
Well, I think one said to return to track, and one was saying that she has got the penalty. So I think they're just getting some clarification at the moment. But she has gone and sat in the box as a blocker. So I believe the star pass was completed. So therefore she's a blocker. So therefore she got an out of play penalty,
which is better than sitting in the box as a jammer.
Oh, absolutely.
And
anyway, back on track, we've got Sarah Chambers taking lead for Australia. Sarah Chambers coming up for her first scoring pass.
That's Papap up at the front with Chinaski doing some blocking for Team Argentina.
And jamming for Argentina is Tropical Macana. So she's at the back trying to hop her way around. Sarah Chambers up for another scoring pass. Bursts her way through the middle with some beautiful offence there from
Danny Darko.
That's the one.
And Pivot is back on the track now for Team Argentina. That is Mackie Lambera in there in case their jammer's looking for a star pass.
Sarah Chambers up in front again, getting the assist from Danny Darko. Meccano desperately trying to find that gap. Seems to be getting through the middle of the blockers, but they're so quick to close it back up. She's not really making any progress. Danny Darko up in front with one blocker to face, and she pushes them out of bounds.
Sarah Chambers coming around on another scoring pass. She's got 15 on the board so far for Team Australia in this jam. And she adds another 5 with that last lap there before calling it off. So it's a 20-point jam for Team Australia.
So the points are Team Argentina at 10 and Team Australia at 61. Just a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Roll Line, who are the Italian skating experience since 1999. And they provide tailored gear to fit your needs. Timeout has been called by Team Argentina.
And as we do have full games today, so the clock is stopping for this timeout. Yesterday's half-hour games, no clock stoppage.
No, it made for a very quick game, so it was kind of you get all up and excited and hyped, and then the game's over. So I'm quite excited to see some full games today. And a shout out to another one of our sponsors, Sucker Punch Skate Shop. As Europe's original Derby-owned and devoted skate shop, Sucker Punch is dedicated to helping you with honest advice to help to find exactly what you need and more. Their technical know-how and expertise is unrivaled, as is their availability for your favorite gear and fast shipping throughout Europe. Visit them at suckerpunchskateshop.com.
Both teams lining up here on the track. Timeout's coming to a close now.
We've got Rayo up against Christy Demons.
Christy Demons quickly out of the pack for lead jammer there. Star is off on Team Argentina.
Team Argentina seem to be really struggling with these free walls that Australia have really got down. Because even with their offence jumping in, Australia are able to just pretend that they're not even there and carry on.
Just letting the offense sort of sneak through.
And I'm not sure if you saw that, but that was a gorgeous apex jump there by Christy Demons for Australia.
Another multi-scoring pass jam for Australia. 15 so far on the board for Christy Demons and Team Australia in this jam. And again, Argentina still struggling to get out of the pack on the initial pass.
That's another 5 in the sky for Australia. Argentina again jumping on the offence to try and help Rayo to get out. But it does mean they're a bit broken up as Christy Demons comes up to the pack. Doesn't seem to have stopped them though from getting that quick reform.
They've managed to slow Demons down a little bit here, which is definitely the way to take her on.
Absolutely, you don't want a jammer like that to have speed on her side. And just as we say that, she has been sent to the box for a high block penalty. So that's a power jam in favour of Argentina, meaning we are running to the full 2 minutes, which is about 30 seconds left of this jam.
And Argentina with a star pass to Maki Lombera. That is their jammer out of the pack and now available to score.
Maki Lombera up in front of the pack, guys speeding up to keep her away a bit. That's the jam come to its natural 2-minute conclusion.
And that's 3 points on the board there for Team Argentina, bringing them up to 13. And they are going to start this next jam with a very brief power start. Christy Demons standing in the penalty box now.
We've got Lula Zan who's taking that power jam. And just see a quick replay there.
That's the star pass there.
Ah, there we go.
And a really quick pack here, Argentina racing.
Clearly wanting to bring up some time there with Australia to... So that is Australia out of the penalty box. So both jammers are on track. No one's got lead so far.
Team Argentina down a blocker as Christy Demons comes around for lead jammer.
Shishmael going on the offence there to get a blocker out of the way, which sees 265 Lula Zan out for her initial.
And I believe that is Temis, Argentina's pivot, going to the penalty box right at the end of that jam as well. So they have 2 blockers in the box for this next jam. That's going to be a pack advantage for Australia.
And points are Team Argentina on 13, Team Australia on 88. So that was only a 4-point jam for Australia, which is quite low scoring compared to the other jams we've seen so far. So really strong work there from Lula Zan to shut that down nice and quick. Got Manisha coming up against
Stanton for Australia, who is out as lead jammer.
Yep.
Already, very quick. I blinked and I almost missed it.
Manisha trying to sprint round that inside line, but that gap was closed up very quickly by Australia. You see Stanton up in front, hopping her way around and getting the 5-point pass. Manisha is out for her initial.
Beautiful footwork on the outside line there to get her out of the pack.
Pack really kind of sprinting away, just breaking each other up, allowing Stanton to just weave her way around, calling off the jam.
great hit by Alba there in turn 3 right at the end, forcing Stanton to call it off with only 3 points for that pass. So that is an 8-point jam for Team Australia.
On the jam line, we've got Tropical Makana taking on Sarah Chambers.
Sarah Chambers looking for the outside line, which was trying to be opened up by her offense there. Argentina shut it down and has now got a 2-all at the front, trying to contain Chambers.
Sarah Chambers taking lead. Team Australia on 96 points at the moment to Argentina's 13, just 4 points will see them break the century mark.
And Temis takes the star for Team Argentina, a successful star pass there, and is approaching the pack in scoring position. Sarah Chambers trying to grab all of her points before Argentina gets to the pack. And
you can see the scoreboard there on your screens. 13 points to 99, just a bit of a tease away from 100 points for Australia.
Again, a very low-scoring jam for Australia. That was just a 3-point jam, so great work by the Argentinian blockers to contain Australia's jammers.
Rayo taking on Byrne for Australia. Rayo up in front, pushing that last blocker, and she is out as lead. Byrne's taken the star off as she tries to get through, and that's a successful star pass over to Dani Darko, who's been a very strong offence so far in this game. First time seeing her jam so far today. Rayo up for a scoring pass. Some offence there from her teammates, but Australia really managing to slow that speed right down. Well, Dani Darko is up for her own scoring pass for Australia. So both jammers really just trying to push and grudge their way through, not making a great deal of progress. Dani Darko kind of almost lying on the blockers, trying to force them to create a gap.
Byrne trying to do some offense for Dani Darko there against the Argentinian wall at the front, but now forced to bridge in order to keep her blockers in play at the back of the pack.
Got both jammers really struggling now, so we've got Rayo at the back being recycled back to turn 2. Dani Darko right at the front there with just that one blocker left to face, who she's managed to force out of play, so she gets the 4 points for Australia. Rayo sprinting around that outside line, just hit out at the last second there, taking her all the way back. Dani Darko up in front with 2 blockers, so she's kind of going with the tactic of just keep pushing them until they're out of play, which has clearly worked, got her the 4 points so far.
And a clock or a directional block there against Mackie Lombardo, again one of the last blockers to beat at the front of the pack.
Rayo seeing Dani Darko coming for another scoring pass, decides to shut the jam down.
Puts 4 on the board for Argentina there to Dani Darko's 9 points for Team Australia. So Team Australia now over the 100-point mark.
And Team Argentina on 17, Team Australia on 108. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Double Threat Skates, who give expert advice from experienced staff. Head to doublethreatskates.co.uk.
Christy Demons now back on the jam line against Lulu Zan. Very small pack, as 2 blockers in the box per each team.
Lulu Zan has just taken lead for Argentina, but a lot of blockers in the box.
Yeah. It's the second lead in a row for Argentina.
Lulu Zan up for a scoring pass. Argentina trying to jump on the offensive, but Christy Demons has come for her own scoring pass and just managed to take that speed to carry her through, but she's just hit out on the outside line there by 1980 Hulko, who's taken her back, taken that momentum away from her, which is what they need to do against this jammer.
Lulu Zan having some difficulty again with Team Australia blockers at the back of the pack.
Absolutely, a lot tougher when all the blockers are out the penalty box and you've got that free wall to face again, which is proving so successful for him so far in this tournament. Luluzan has just been called for a forearms penalty, so that is a power jam in favour of Australia, running to the full 2-minute jam.
And Christy Demons, a very dangerous jammer to give that power jam to.
That's a 5-point pass there for Australia.
Australia's first scoring pass coming almost a minute and a half into the jam. So quite impressive work so far by Team Argentina, trying to keep them contained.
Absolutely. I feel like they've really stepped up their game in the last part of this game so far. Their defence has really kind of stepped up a notch.
And there we see a hit out at turn 3. That is Papap drawing back Christy Demons.
Meanwhile, Luluzan is back on track, as you can see on screen, so she's trying to weave her way around, but that is the jam come to its natural conclusion.
4 points on the board for Luluzan there for Team Argentina, 13 for Christy Demons and Team Australia.
So that takes our total up to 21 points to Argentina and 1-2-1 to Team Australia.
Seven minutes, 45 seconds left in the first half of this game.
Manisha taking on Stanton. Stanton's just taken a lead for Australia.
That was some beautiful, beautiful offense by Tui Lyon there on the inside line to free Stanton so quickly from the pack.
Manisha managing to sneak away around the inside line there, but she has got a cut track penalty for the privilege. So that's another power jam, second in a row for Australia. This is not what Argentina wanted.
And a skating out of bounds penalty for Stanton. So jammers are going to trade spots in the box, and it leaves Argentina with a power jam here.
But it should be quite a quick power jam. Manager hadn't taken long sat in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And as I say that, Stanton is already back out the box, so carrying on as if nothing happened. Got a bit of a cluster of skaters as part of the pack there. Can be difficult to distinguish between your own teammates and the opponents in that situation, and yeah, it can sometimes end up getting blocked by your own team. But they have now split it up, running an incredibly long pack there. Australia up in front, Stanton with a bit of a spin round, takes the 5 points. Manager chasing her down.
Stanton checking in with the bench before deciding whether or not to call it off.
So Australia seem to have this tactic of like breaking apart the wall before the jammers manage to make it back, but it also seems to just be making the pack run at such a speed the jammers even struggle to catch them.
Australia running the clock down there in that last jam. Looks like they were racing the pack. Stanton not really looking like she was trying to catch up. Five on the board there for Stanton and Team Australia, brings them up to 126 points to 21 for Team Argentina.
Sarah Chambers taking on Tropical Makana. Sarah Chambers up in front, 2 blockers to pass, and she does so. Tropical Makana taking the star off, very quick to spot her pivot, and the pivot is on it, trying to take that star away from her. Australia doing very well at holding her back though.
Yeah, keeping the pivot and the jammer away from each other, not letting that star pass happen.
So Tropical Makana trying to jump around the inside line there, but being held back, being taken all the way back. So you can see there that reach as she has passed the star over to number 3, who is Temis. But Temis has been absorbed just as quickly as her jammer was, so a star pass doesn't seem to have gained them an advantage.
Sarah Chambers hit out there on the inside. Recycled to the back of the pack by Team Argentina's blockers. She almost stayed in. And we've got a couple blocker penalties now, one apiece.
Danny Darko getting a clockwise penalty, who has kind of proven to be the team's offence. So it would be interesting to see the other blockers taking on that role.
Argentina now just with 2 blockers on the track. Sarah Chambers makes quick work of that, gets around for another 5. She's a 15-point jam so far for Team Australia.
Sarah Chambers is one of those quick jammers that you need to be all over the track to be able to slow her down. So when you've got 2 skaters on track, it's so difficult to do.
That leaves a lot of real estate open for her to take advantage of.
Absolutely.
And a 20-point jam there for Sarah Chambers.
And a quick shout out to our sponsor, Sweet 80. Sweet80.com is where you can get awesome brands including Punky Pin, ball bags, American socks, Sisu and band apparel. A proportion of profits from all sales go through to from Sweet80.com are donated to the Claire Lawrence Foundation to fund brain cancer charities. Sweet80.com, roll, give.
Byrne now jamming for Team Australia, Rayo for Team Argentina. Byrne out with lead jammer status. And a star pass from Argentina as Byrne approaches the pack.
So that's Maki Lombero who's taking the star for Argentina. Another quick pack again. So Byrne is kind of racing alongside her teammates.
Running the clock down, trying to free her pivot from the box. Doesn't quite do it. But does keep Argentina off the board in that jam.
You just see a quick replay there of how quick Australia managed to get out of that last jam. We've got lining up on the jam line number 14, Christy Demons, up against 265, Lula Zen. Christy Demons up in front. Both walls doing the free blocker brace. But it is Christy Demons who takes out as lead. So Lula Zen taking the star off, sprinting her way through. Christy Demons up for a first scoring pass. Tries to take that outside line, is slowed down but not stopped with a 5-point pass.
And that's a power jam for Christy Demons. As Lula Zan goes to sit in the penalty box.
Big hit out on the outside line there from Holker, who does the recycle back. Christy Demons just managing to stay in on 1 foot on that outside line for another 5-point pass.
Picks the blockers off at the front one by one, gets them spread out.
While Lula Zen is back on track.
Big hit on Christy Demons there. And she does call that before Lula Zan is able to put any points on the board.
She had passed the star over to Temis, who was the one sprinting back round, but she didn't quite manage to make it in time.
Temis has taken a lot of star passes in this game so far.
Tropical Makana taking on Stanton with a pivot line start for a bit of retro roller derby. Oh, I spoke too soon, they came back, never mind.
Team Australia with a 4-on-2 pack advantage here. Should make short work of that, and she does.
Tropical Makana again just drudging in the middle of that free wall. Stanton up for a scoring pass. And she is out for a 4-point pass.
Tropical Makana still stuck at the back of the pack behind Team Australia.
Tropical Mechanic basically trying to slow down, and she manages to catch Stanton. It's taken her all the way back. Not quite an eat the baby, but like nearly.
Trying to run down the clock a little bit after. This is going to be the last jam of the half.
And that's a successful star pass over to Maki Lombera. She's taken the star as a pivot quite a few times.
Stanton calling that off once she gets her 5 for that pass. And our unofficial halftime score now, 21 for Team Argentina, 173 for Team Australia.
And just seeing a replay there of Stanton getting round on the outside line. So that is our halftime. We should be having a bit of a break there, and then we'll see the second half of Argentina taking on Team Australia.
At day 2 of the Roller Derby World Cup here in Manchester.
On the S1 Helmets track. I've been Stormageddon. I've been joined by C3PO, and we will join you very, very soon.
74 points up to Argentina's 21.
But what we were noticing in the second half is Argentina really upped their defence going into the end of that second half.
First half.
Oh, yeah, first half, yeah. I'm getting that. It's still very early. But so hopefully that means that Argentina are kind of picking up on Australia's playing styles, picking up on how they jam. So maybe they can kind of up their defence a bit more. Hopefully see them kind of progress in the second half.
Yeah, with the hour-long games today, it's a lot more time to adapt to the gameplay of your opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just seeing the teams discussing their tactics and stuff. We've got about a minute left. And quick shout out to our sponsors at Pivot Star. If you're looking for athletic wear to kickstart the season, then head over to Pivot Star website. And there's a special World Cup flash sale. So everything you need at prices to suit you. Alternative, athletic, awesome.
For Team Australia versus Team Argentina. Hold on halftime, you're right. National score 174 for Australia, 21 for Argentina.
First jam of the second half. Looks like we'll have Tropical Mechana up against Sarah Chambers.
We've seen these two face up against each other quite a lot in the first half. Sarah Chambers has proven to be a very quick and strong jammer to face up against. But as I was saying, as they all now know her jamming style, maybe we'll see a bit of a change in the second half.
Full strength in terms of the pack, so that's 4 on 4 in the pack. And 15 seconds left on the halftime clock at the moment. The teams are ready to go.
Both jammers kind of fighting each other for that inside line before the whistle even goes. Oh. A bit of a tease from the officials, a whistle to kind of say that we're about to start the second half. That's 5 seconds called.
And at 5 seconds, Team Australia moves back right onto Tropical Mechanica.
Well, probably making her think that she has that run up, has that bit of a luxury, and then taking it away from her last second, meaning she has to change her game plan.
Danny Darko at the front of the pack doing offense again for Sarah Chambers.
Very common offense for Australia so far in this game. Sarah Chambers being taken all the way back.
Team Argentina really trying to slow down the Australia jammers. As soon as they get some speed, they're away.
So now we're seeing on both packs the jammers kind of drudging their way through, but Sarah Chambers has just taken lead. And Tropical Mechana with a gap has taken the opportunity, sprinted out, is chasing Sarah Chambers down. Sarah Chambers up for a scoring pass.
Sarah Chambers is going to call that off before Tropical Mechanica has a chance to put anything on the board. Great defensive jam there by Team Argentina, holding Australia to a mere 2 points on that. So like you were saying, adapting to the play style, hopefully seeing some stronger offense.
Yes.
Or defense, sorry, from the Argentinians here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got Giles lined up on the jammer line now for Team Australia. First time we've seen her so far in this game, I think.
First time jamming today, yeah, that's right. And she is quite a common jammer for Australia, so it's been quite bizarre to not see her on the jam line.
Yeah.
It's nice to see her back. And maybe just a fresh pair of wheels, someone that's maybe not quite so tired to come into the second half with, but she has just taken a big hit out from Hulker of Argentina. But as Hulker's gone off for a penalty, she was able to jump straight back on, take lead for Australia. Meanwhile, Argentina have had a star pass over to Manija. They've shut the jam down.
Giles calling it at 4-0. Another fairly low-scoring jam in terms compared to what we saw in the first half.
And that's it, and that's what Argentina want to be doing. We've seen some monster jams from Australia in the first half. We've seen 20-point jams, like, more than once. And this is what Argentina need to stop from happening. Even if they don't get any points themselves, they want to just stop those crazy amount of point jams.
Yeah, keeping it to one scoring pass is definitely a success right now. That's Gomez for Australia, jamming up against Lulazan for Argentina.
But Gomez taking lead for Australia. Lulazan really fighting at the back, as you can see on the screen there.
And again, Danny Darko with the offense right at the front of the pack there. Successful star pass for Team Argentina again. That is Maki Lambera with the star now, forcing a call up again with a single scoring pass. So that's the third single scoring pass. Oh, my mistake. My mistake. That's 2 scoring passes. But a mere 9 points, so keeping it in the single digits at least.
On the jam line, we have Stanton taking on Mad Flacker for Argentina. First time we've seen Mad Flacker jamming today as well, so we've got a lot of first-time jammers coming into the second half.
Some fresh legs for Argentina.
And also a skater that you don't know how they play, so you don't have the tactical advantage of knowing how to defend them.
Yeah.
But despite of this, Stanton has taken lead for Australia.
Star pass there now for Argentina.
It's gone over to Manija. She's hopping around the inside line, just hit out at the last second by Laurie Evans, Australia's captain. Big hit out on the outside line by Jana Nuku. So Hulker jumping on the offensive there, trying to get Australia out the way a bit.
Australia with a 3-2 pack advantage now. Penalty box is getting full.
The Stunter up in front, managing to weave round the 2 wall of Argentina. So Hulker taking out the brace, but Australia very quick to reform that. Stanton on the outside line there was hit out, but she called it off as she was hit out on the outside line.
10 points on the board there for Stanton, and 14 points on the board there for Stanton and Team Australia. That brings them over the 200 marker, 203. With just under 25 minutes left in the game.
Tropical Makana taking on Christy Demons, quite common jammers from the first half. Both jammers trying to hit their way through. Tropical Makana now on toe stops, trying to hop her way round.
Alba with some offense right out of the box there, trying to do something for her jammer.
Christy Demons forced out on the inside line, as was Tropical Makana, so both of them running back, but this has allowed them a run up. Big hit down onto Tropical Makana. Sees Australia get a stop lock.
just squeezing around the inside there is Christy Demons. However, Tropical Mechanica right there as well. So that's going to be a 4 points to none jam in favor of Team Australia.
So Argentina's defense amazingly strong there. About 40 seconds into that jam before we saw anyone get lead.
And again, the pack hadn't moved past turn 1.
So we're seeing Rayo take on Sarah Chambers. Five seconds is called. So again, Australia coming back at the 5-second call. Rayo trying to get around on the outside, but forced to back off. Sarah Chambers has just got lead. Argentina really jumping on the offence.
Multiplayer block called on Team Argentina's pivot.
But it looks like we had a star pass in Argentina. Oh no, so I think the star is in hand.
No, the star is actually on the track between the pivot and jammer lines at the moment for Team Argentina's star.
So I believe the jammer will believe that the pivot's got the star, but she's dropped it on the track and she's gone to the box as a pivot. So there's currently no jammer for Argentina whatsoever.
Well, there would still be the original jammer as the inactive jammer, wouldn't it?
I believe so. I think she needs to realise that and pick up the star.
Yeah, and her pivot is standing by the star.
Now, Rayo is now taking a seat in the box.
And picking up the star.
There we go.
So Argentina finally now with a star on a helmet, a minute and a half into this jam. Meanwhile, Sarah Chambers around for 5 more points.
So Rayo's basically put the star on to immediately take it off to have the option to pass.
Yeah.
So I think you could probably see that they're explaining it there, and you can see the penny dropping as they both realise what's just happened.
It's always a frustrating, confusing time when stars on the ground and you're not quite sure.
Because what you want to do is avoid the power jam, but at the same time, if no one's acting as a jammer for longer than 30 seconds, then it didn't really make much difference in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
So a quick timeout has been called by Argentina. It just gives us an opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsors, Roller Derby Elite. Level up your game, make your mum proud, wear Roller Derby Elite.
So this is a team timeout for Argentina, and we can see a replay here.
So that's a replay of that star pass. You just see a bench there doing a bit of chatting to the skaters. Don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's about the game. I'd hope it's about the game.
I would also hope that.
Another one of our sponsors, Cheese Balls Precision Skate Bearings, who are the original hand-prepped skate bearing, available in-house and online so I'd assume on their own website, because it doesn't give me a website. But that's Cheese Balls Precision Skate Bearings. If you Google it, I'm sure it'll turn up.
Giles now lined up again for Team Australia, up against Luluzan. Both jammers taking the outside line there.
So they've managed to kind of follow each other through. Australia managing to slow down Luluzan, but from being out of play, she is out.
Giles getting knocked out there in turn 1, and that's a 0-0 jam. Great work there by Team Argentina to hold Giles to 0, knocking her out in that turn.
Shout out to our sponsor, Strong Athletic. Strong Athletic believes that every human has the right to celebrate their strength, play sports, be active and find their power. Speak their voice and be seen at strongathletic.com.
Gomez now with the star for Team Australia, and that is Mad Flacca for Argentina.
Gomez barely staying on track there on toe stops on the inside line. She takes lead.
Star pass now for Argentina, and
it's Manager who's taken the star for Argentina. She's up for a scoring pass, forces the call off.
Another very good defensive jam for Argentina. 3 points there on the board for Australia.
So points at 21 to Argentina, 2-2-5 to Australia. So even though Australia is still in the lead, we're not seeing Australia get as many points as they were doing in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Much tighter defense from Argentina in the second half.
Yeah.
Team Australia absolutely dominating here at the World Cup. So any team that can keep them to multiple single scoring passes, even a 0-0 jam, that's impressive work to keep Australia to no points in a jam.
Yeah, I would be happy with a 0-0 against Australia.
Especially when they have lead. That's
absolutely. Especially with the success of Victoria in last season. I think we all kind of came into this World Cup expecting to see exciting things from Australia.
Absolutely.
And they have not let us down.
No, not disappointed at all. Not disappointed in Argentina either.
No.
Great skating out here today.
Just the pure resilience from Argentina as well is even against those blockers where you feel like you're never going to get through, the jammers are not giving in. They're not showing their cards. They're not showing they're tired. They just keep powering through, and that's really admirable.
And smart play by Argentina too. In terms of the star pass.
Yes.
Making sure that they're taking every opportunity to free a jammer in order to force an early call off and keeping Australia to a lower scoring jam.
Absolutely. So Tropical Makana up against Stanton in this jam. Stanton's up in front and she has taken lead for Australia. So as we were saying, Tropical Makana has taken the star off, as we've seen many a time in this game. But she's hopped around the inside line, so she's keeping hold of that star as Stanton comes in for her first scoring pass.
I'm not sure how she managed to stay in bounds there. That was impressive.
Pure witchcraft, I would say. Stanton's gone through with a no pass, no penalty, so that's a 3-point pass for Australia as she calls off the jam.
Tropical Mechanica was a bit wide on the turn here and almost scored a point, but unfortunately was held to 0 by that call off.
So close.
Very close. Rayo now up against Giles. And Team Argentina taking a back wall here.
I'm really liking the crop top look on Giles, I have to say. I'm a little bit jealous.
I don't think I could pull it off.
A few more ab days and then maybe.
Giles up the inside, but gets a forearm call there, so lead is still open.
So power jam in favour of Argentina. So Rayo hopping round, manages to take lead for Argentina. First time getting lead in this half.
And let's see what they can do with it with only...
Well, now with one returning blocker, so 2 blockers on track. Argentina are coming on the offensive there to kind of break them up a little bit for her. Clearly worked as she now has the 5-point pass for Argentina.
Giles back on the track now, star in hand, approaching the back of the pack with speed. Argentina sees her coming. Lets her through on the inside there. Doesn't need much room at all to get by.
No, absolutely not. Rayo pirouetting round on the outside line, being hit out by number 38, Bone Shaker. Giles also respectively on the inside line, being taken out by Kamola.
Pap joining that blocking effort there. Unfortunately goes to the box for something I missed. Giles recycled again. Rayo trying to go through that Australia pack.
I think she's just trying to get low enough to kind of go underneath them, but when they're so tightly packed together, it's not worked out for her in this case.
Giles with a little hop there over the apex. Manages to go around for another 5 points.
So that's the jam come to its end. That's the first time Argentina put points on the board for this half, and it's a 10-point jam for Argentina to Australia's 14.
Great jam there by Argentina. I think that might be only their second multi-scoring pass jam of the game so far. Sarah Chambers now with the star for Australia.
Up against Rosalie Lazan. Sarah Chambers up in front, just slowed down by that one blocker up in front, but she's managing to push them out of bounds and takes lead.
Has Ismail up at the front doing some really great one-on-one defensive blocking. Meanwhile, we've got a star pass.
That's over to number 95, Manager.
And Sarah Chambers calls that off before Manja has the chance to catch up. But just 2 points on the board there for Australia. So again, a low scoring jam.
So if you guys are kind of watching at home, if you're doing any viewing parties, well, breakfast viewing parties at this time of the day, be sure to use the hashtag RDWC2018 and have your post featured on the broadcast so that we can say hi and see what you're doing.
Christy Demons now with the star for Australia takes the inside line in turn 1 for lead jammer.
Star is off for Australia, so it was Mad Flacker who has the star at the moment. And she has managed to hop her way through, so she is out for her initial. So Demons on for a first scoring pass as Mad Flacker makes her way round.
The Australian bench is saying call it, but Christy Demons doesn't manage to do that in time, and Mad Flacker stealing 2 points there to Christy Demons 3.
Some excellent work there by Argentina, even though not getting lead, managing to get some points on the board. It's not something they've been able to do so much in this game because Australia have been very quick with the call-offs. Tropical McCann taking on Giles on the jam line.
Australia again up at the front and then right at 5 seconds sitting back down on Tropical Mechanica, taking away any run-up space.
Maybe the coming back is to more kind of take the momentum, like you're not going back into them, but you have that extra bit of power.
That is an Argentina blocker in the penalty box now for a forearm, and an Australian blocker will join her.
Giles taking lead for Australia, allowing Hawker to go on the offence on the inside line. It has created a gap, but Australia very quick to reform back in front. But that is a successful star pass over to Manager, who's taking the star from the pivot quite a few times this half.
Almost as though they're putting her out there as a pivot in anticipation of the star passes, because she was jamming more in the first half. From the get-go, I should say, starting the jam with a star.
Yeah, so now maybe the lineup's kind of changing things around, knowing that there's a good chance the pivot's going to become the jammer.
Planning for that ahead of time and making sure that you've got a very a strong skater in that pivot position.
Stanton up against Rayo on the jam line.
Stanton beats that Argentinian wall and gets out for lead. Rayo ducks there after and gets out.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Just ducking underneath the hips.
Yeah.
Bit of a hop round the inside line, see Stanton get her points and call off the jam. So that's 4 for Australia.
Coaches from both teams discussing things with the officials right now. Gomez for Australia, Lulu Zan for Argentina.
Gomez has proven to be a really quick jammer in this second half, and she's absolutely keeping to that. As you can see her running away with lead up in the front of the pack. Meanwhile, Lulu Zan is fighting.
Gets drawn back there by Bianca Scarretta.
So Lulu Zan and Argentina's pivot are kind of making their way through at the same time, making it a bit more sneaky as to where the star is. Lulu Zan tried to slow down Gomez as she made her way past, but Gomez barely even clocked her. Gomez really being slowed down there at the front by Argentina's last blocker, Holker. Holker's really proved to be a strong blocker for Argentina so far this game.
Absolutely. We've seen some great defensive and offensive hits from her in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Holka with the drawback. However, Gomez going to the penalty box. So that is a power jam now for Argentina.
And that was for a low block penalty that she got that penalty for. So this does mean we're running to the full 2 minutes of this jam. That's been a star pass over to manager.
Again, starting as the pivot, but good possibility of becoming the jammer.
She has quite a cruel lineup, manager. I feel like she's not had a break, like, at all in this second half.
She has been working very hard in this game, for sure.
Out on the outside, but manager very quick to get back on, hasn't really allowed for the recycle to happen.
Gomez, meanwhile, on the track now fighting against a back wall of Argentina.
And that's the jam come to its 2 minutes end.
It's a 12-point jam for Australia. No points for Argentina in that one.
Showing some Australian blocking on the replay there.
Mad Flacca lining up for Argentina. Sarah Chambers lining up for Australia. Argentina taking that back wall again.
Mad Flacca up in front with one of her teammates for a fence. Sarah Chambers now making her way around on the inside, just hit out.
Matt Flacca being recycled by the Australian blockers. Sarah Chambers up at the front against a 3-wall, but gets some offense there by Jana Nuku.
Sarah Chambers with just Maki Lombera there to face managers to burst her way through. Matt Flacca is still fighting. She's got a star in hand now. And that has been a star pass because Matt Flacca is now quite actively blocking. So Sarah Chambers up in front now with just the 2 blockers to face some quite strong 2-block from Argentina.
That's Chinansky and Papap doing 2-on-1 blocking against Sarah Chambers. And who does call it off now? And again, just the 1 scoring pass for Australia. So that's 5-0 in that jam.
And just seeing a replay of that blocking that we were just talking about there. Some really strong, like, spinning around and managing to keep the momentum away from Sarah Chambers.
Taking that full 20 feet available at the front of the pack, keeping it in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tropical Mechanica again up against Giles.
Tropical Mechanica kind of jumping into the back of that pack there, but Australia not budging an inch. Giles up in front takes lead. Star is off for Tropical Makana. Manager is pivot once again for Argentina.
Yeah. They are really relying on her.
But she is a very strong pivot though. She's very good at doing that switch in between blocking and jamming.
Yep.
Ooh, big hit there onto Giles on the inside.
That was directional, I believe, though. That blocker is going to the box.
So Giles taken all the way back by manager.
Like you were saying, excellent, intelligent blocker and pivot, and also able to be a great jammer for Argentina as well.
And that's the thing I love about roller derby. It's not so much about who's the strongest, it's also who's the smartest.
Yes, yeah. It takes a lot of intelligence to be successful at the game.
Absolutely. Quick shout out to Fifth Blocker Skates, who's skater owned and operated since 2011, Gallus. Stanton on the jam line up against Rayo.
And Argentina is going to start with a blocker in the box, it looks like.
So we're just having a quick official timeout.
Yep. Sorting out that penalty box.
We should have a quick shout out to our officials, because there's so many people who have worked hard to know the game who are helping us run this whole weekend, all completely voluntarily.
No officials, no roller derby.
No, and they're doing an excellent job so far.
Yes.
Oh, big hit out on the outside there onto Stanton, Caesar all the way back. Also for Rayo, who's been taken down, but it appears not out. Stanton hopping around on the inside, just in bounds, taking lead.
Rayo takes the star off now.
Stanton again managing to get past, and people are kind of blocking sideways, getting past the back. And we have just been given information that Hulker from Team Argentina has just fouled out, which is what that official timeout would have been in regards to. So let's see if that has much of an effect on Argentina. We were speaking earlier about how strong a blocker Hulker has proved to be.
Yeah.
But as we all know, one skater does not a team make.
Should not a team make, for sure. This is Lulazan and Gomez on the line.
Both jammers really just push in. So Gomez is now doing the kind of weaving round, which has proved successful for her so far to pick up the speed of the blockers. But she is hit out on the inside line doing the recycle back. But very smart blocking there. Very smart jamming, to know exactly where she can get back on track. Manages to avoid two blockers and take lead.
And guess who took the star again as the pivot?
Is it manager by any chance?
I think it might be.
Shocker.
Gomez around with 5 points, approaching the pack again.
Manager's been hit out on the outside line, making her way around, kind of really picking up some speed to impact into the back of those blockers, but Australia managing to stay strong and stable throughout.
Smart play by Alba coming out of the box, stands right behind the Australian blocker so that they can't go clockwise on the track to draw the jammer back any further than they already had.
I'm just seeing on the screen there, Argentina's strong blocking to hold Gomez back.
Some good recycling there as well by Argentina.
pressure hit out on the inside line. There's still Argentina with the initial pass to get as Gomez comes round for another scoring pass. So this should be her 4th scoring pass now, if I'm not mistaken. Each blocker kind of swooping in to try and slow her down, but to no avail as she gets through with 5 points.
She is forced onto the outside there, and as the jam clock runs out, it's a 22-point jam for Australia.
And just a quick shout out to Kaya Skates, the Kaya Sapphire, which is a lightweight composite shell from the Box Fit, affordable, durable, and available now. Hashtag it's time for some Kaya Skates.
We've got an official review. That's Team Argentina calling an official review now. Oh, Team Australia. The NSO is pointing at Argentina. The scoreboard's indicating Team Australia. So
I'm going to go with the NSO on this one and assume that it's Argentina. But obviously if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Do you want me to go with the scoreboard, and then that way one of us is going to be right?
I think that's a good plan.
Well,
so as a team,
we're
we
correct.
are always correct.
Teamwork does make that dream work.
We just ignore the person that's wrong, and then we're always correct.
Exactly.
There we go.
So once we get information about the official review, we will relay that to you.
And a quick shout out to Roller Derby City, who is a skater-owned and operated merch and uniform company, UK-based, who ship worldwide. They supply uniforms and merch for teams, league, roller derby brands and events, including all the merch for the Roller Derby World Cup, as well as individual customised items such as scrim tops, official gear and referee shirts. They've been skater-owned and operated, means supporting the roller derby community is at the heart of what they do, and they've been proudly supporting local roller derby since they began in 2010. And their tops are beautiful. We're just finding out now from the referees what that official review was in regards to. So C3PO will be giving us the skinny on what's happening.
So the official review, Argentina is looking for a cut call on Australia's jammer in that last jam. They are still deliberating about whether or not that happened.
So it'll just be kept in suspense until then, I suppose.
And you are correct with going for the NSO. So that was Team Argentina that called that official review.
So team announcer was correct.
Team announcer was correct.
Excellent. So we only have just over 1 minute left of this game with 32 points to Argentina and 311 to Australia. Just finding out now if that official review was successful or not.
Argentina did not retain their official review there. The official crew determined that Australia's jammer re-entered the track legally behind the hips of the opponent in question.
There we go then. No one's been naughty. All is well.
So no cut call there, which means Giles will be jamming with the star for Australia.
Giles is up against Mad Flacker. Giles really sprinting around on that outside, weaving around the pack. Again, Danny Darko jumping on the offensive.
I think that's Tui Lyon there doing some offense as the Australia pivot. The two of them absolutely back and forth with the pivot hats. Mad Flacco takes the star off as Giles is lead jammer. So looking for that pass for Argentina.
Giles up in front. Again with the offensive from Tui Lyon. But Tui Lyon now acting as the brace to keep that pack in.
Again showcasing the intelligence that you need to have as a good pivot in this game.
Absolutely. So that is Matt Flacker out for, oh no, not out for initial, sorry. She's got a cut penalty, so it's a power jam in favour of Australia, which Giles, I'm sure, will take every opportunity in, and she comes around for another 5 points.
So that was just the first scoring pass there for Australia.
And now Argentina don't not only have to defend against Giles, who is a strong jammer, but also against the barreling offence of the Australian team.
Giles calling that off with Argentina's jammer standing in the box. So that's Mad Flacca standing in the box for Argentina. I'm going to give Australia...
But that does mean that we have the final whistle now going. So the unofficial final score is 32 points to Argentina, 319 to Australia. So obviously we'll just get that confirmed with the officials. But I think really impressive work there by Argentina, despite the points difference. And if you ignore the scores, if you just look at the gameplay alone of the team, as we said before, the development of the team throughout the game, the change in tactics, the upping of the defence, and they really kind of progressed as a team, really evolved as they went through the game.
Absolutely. Nothing to be ashamed of there for Argentina. They played quite well.
Absolutely, yes.
And we do now have the official final. So that is Argentina with 32, Team Australia with 319 points. I have been C3P Ho.
I've been Stormageddon. Thank you for joining us on the X1 helmet track, and we will see you very soon.